Hey, welcome. So let's talk about something really important. You have rights, written right there in the Constitution. But how do you turn that ink on a page into actual, real-world change? Today, we're going to break down the roadmap to activating your power as a citizen in Kenya. And we're going to start with some serious inspiration.
You just have to hear these words from the Nobel laureate Wangari Maathai. I mean, think about it. She started with a pretty simple idea, right? Planting trees. But that one act, it grew into a fight for something so much bigger. Her journey is the perfect example of the kind of power we're diving into.
And here's the incredible thing. The power that Wangari Maathai tapped into, it isn't just for heroes or famous icons. No, it's a fundamental right. It belongs to every single citizen. It's already there, right in your hands.
This right here, this is the bedrock of everything. Article 1 of the Constitution makes it crystal clear. All sovereign power belongs to the people, to you. And that's not a gift from the government, it's the other way around. Their power comes from you.
But, okay, here's the reality check. For a long time, this incredible power wasn't really being used to its full potential. And why is that? Well, because a lot of citizens just didn't know the full extent of their rights, or maybe they didn't feel like they could actually use them. And that's exactly what we're here to talk about changing.
So, what does it actually look like when this power is completely unleashed? Well, let's get into it with the amazing story of the Green Belt movement.
Wangari Maathai's story just proves that you don't need to come from a privileged background to make a monumental difference. Her idea was so simple: plant trees. It was about fighting deforestation and giving rural women a source of income. But that one simple act, it exploded into this huge nationwide movement for the environment, for democracy, and for human rights.
And the impact? Just look at this number. The Green Belt movement has planted over 20 million trees. Let that sink in. 20 million. That's not just a number on a screen. That is real, tangible, lasting change that started with citizen action.
Okay, so feeling inspired by that, let's zoom out a bit. Because participation isn't just one single thing. It's more like a whole toolkit of actions you can take to use your power.
Of course, it starts with voting. That's a huge one. But it goes so much further. It's about showing up to those community meetings. It's about debating the issues that you actually care about. It's staying informed. It's petitioning the government when something's not right. And yeah, sometimes it's even protesting. Every single one of these is a powerful way to participate.
And you got to remember, these aren't just nice suggestions. They are your constitutional rights. The Constitution guarantees your right to get involved in making laws and make sure you can get access to public information. The system is literally designed for you to be heard.
Okay, so we've got the why, that's your constitutional power. And we've got the what, all the different ways you can participate. So now, for the best part, the how. Let's lay out a super clear roadmap to actually make change happen.
Here we go. A simple 5-step process. You start by figuring out what your community actually needs. Then you find other people who care about it too, and you form a group. From there, you build partnerships, pick your tools and tactics, and, this part's super important, you always keep your community in the loop and ask for their feedback.
Now, of all those steps, there's one that can seriously make or break your entire effort. So let's zoom in on that one: planning for maximum impact.
You absolutely 100% need a strategic plan. You know, a plan is what turns a good idea that just floats around in your head into a successful project. Without a plan, you're basically just hoping for the best. With one, you're building a clear path to get where you want to go.
And a fantastic tool to help you with this is setting SMART objectives. It's an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Using this simple framework basically forces you to be super clear about what you want to do and how you'll know when you've done it. So this is the big question you have to keep asking yourself and your group. Don't just dream about the end result. Ask what are the concrete, specific things we have to do to get there.
So a really strong plan has a few key ingredients. You need that big picture vision and then a more focused mission. You need core values to guide you. And then you get into the practical stuff: your overall strategy, the specific tactics you use like rallies or SMS campaigns, a realistic budget, and a clear timeline.
And look, planning doesn't have to be this big, intimidating thing. A simple timeline like this shows you how a huge goal, like organizing a community meeting or a baraza, can be broken down into small, manageable tasks. You just assign a person, a cost, and a deadline to each one, and all of a sudden it feels totally doable.
And as you're putting your plan into action, don't forget to monitor and evaluate how things are going. Now, this isn't about creating a bunch of paperwork. It's just about being smart. It helps you see what's working, what isn't, and lets you adjust your strategy so you can actually win.
Okay, one last tip on organizing. If you're working in a group, which you probably should be, think about your structure early. Having clear roles and a fair way to make decisions is so important. It prevents confusion and makes sure your group's power keeps growing stronger.
So there you have it. We've gone all the way from the huge idea of sovereign power that's written in the Constitution, right down to the nitty-gritty of a practical, step-by-step plan. You really, truly have the tools you need to make a difference.
Because in the end, understanding your rights is the key, and having a good plan is the map. But it's action. Action is the engine that actually drives all change.
And that leaves us with one final and most important question. And it's not for me to answer, it's for you. Looking around at your own neighborhood, your own community, what is the first small, doable step that you can take to start making a change?